Joining us is Taj Reed, the Community Outreach Manager from California Waste Solutions, and Rebecca Parnes, the Senior Recycling Specialist from the Environmental Services Division of the City of Oakland. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you
for having us.
So I remember back in elementary school, recycling was a key component of our curriculum. We learned how to sort things. We actually went to the grocery store and we returned some of our recyclables on the East Coast for money. It's always a good reminder, Rebecca, why is it so important to recycle?
Recycling is really important because it's an easy way to minimize your impact on climate change right at your house. You no longer have to go to the grocery store to recycle. We make it easy at the curb. And when items like paper and cardboard end up in the trash instead of recycling, they release methane emissions, which is a potent greenhouse gas when they decompose in the landfill. So making sure your paper and cardboard ends up in the recycling is a simple way to minimize your impact on climate change. And when we make new products out of the items we put in our recycle cart, it uses less energy, it uses less water, it minimizes the amount of natural resources that we need to pull from the earth to make new things. And in addition to recycling, it's also really important that we recycle right, which means only putting items in your recycle cart that are accepted in the program, and only putting things that are clean, empty, and dry.
Yeah, and a huge component of, fighting climate change, we want to reduce those greenhouse gases. But Taj, not all plastics are equal. What types of plastics belong in the trash?
Well, that's one of the greatest misconceptions, is that every plastic is recyclable, and it's a great concern. So you think of your products such as styrofoams, plastic film, the great and convenient squeeze packages that we purchase for our children, and toys. Those are all items that should not be recycled, but considered for waste disposal.
Yeah, and I see when, especially in my apartment complex, styrofoam, yes, people always try and recycle it. And I always go through that. I'm like, you can't do that.
No, you can't, because of the chemical composition. So what I would say is just to make sure that you dispose of it in your waste. Other than that, you can take it to Alameda's hazardous waste facility, where they rid of it for free. You can find that information on OaklandRecycles website, or also Stop Waste. And it's an easy transaction. Like I said, once again, it's free, and it's based here in East Oakland. So please take your styrofoams there. If not, dispose of them in your regular waste bin.
Yeah, I mean, two keywords: free and easy.
Free.
That's what we want to hear. So when it comes to recycling these plastics, we want to make it easy, but sometimes, I know even for me, things can get confusing. So Rebecca, yes, what types of plastic should we be recycling?
Yeah, it can get confusing. A simple rule I would say is if it holds its shape when you squeeze it, if you can't ball it up in your hand, you can recycle it. Typically, that would be something shaped like a bottle. So your water bottles, your soda bottles, shampoo bottles, that type of container. Something shaped like a tub. So things like yogurt, salsa, sour cream containers, or something shaped like a jug. So that would be like milk cartons, laundry detergent containers. All of those things are great for your recycling once they are empty and dry, so that you're not dripping old shampoo or old laundry detergent all over the paper, which makes it challenging for recycling in the future. And if you're someone that likes to flip over your container and look for a number, I know that helps a lot of people. I think it's hard to find the number, but if you like numbers instead of shapes, numbers 1, numbers 2, and numbers 5 are recyclable. And those recyclable means that there is a secondary market that will purchase that plastic to make it into something new. And material like styrofoam
Yep.
No matter how much we would love for it to have secondary markets like the neighbors in your building, it just doesn't.
You can't.
So putting things in your cart that you wish would be recycled is not the way to go.
Right,
Follow
exactly.
1, 2, and 5 so that our recycling stays clean.
Yep.
And has an end market and gets made into new things. And that's the goal.
These are such great tips. Rebecca, Taj, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, there's much more information to help you recycle at OaklandRecycles.com, including a game to test your knowledge and help you learn about the types of things to recycle. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.